Thank you. Thanks, Will, and thanks everyone for being here. Let's just dive straight in, right? So if you don't know me, my name is Stephanie Campanella, and I run an agency called Tradies Go, and I've been doing that for the last 15 years. And I think the big thing from me is you're good. The big thing for me is that I have never unpacked a WordPress website. The gentleman before that I just sat in was talking about all sorts of technical, things. I have no idea what any of that means. I mean, I did learn to code. I used to do some HTML and JavaScript, CSS. But that just goes to show how dusty I am. I can't even remember the difference between JS and CSS. So bless me. So if you feel like that you can't run a really great, successful web agency or SEO agency or AdWords agency because you don't really know all the ins and outs of the company or the business, that what it's going to be doing, that doesn't matter. I'm going to teach you some ways that you can market yourself and how you can position yourself so that you can then get really good clients to pay you really good retainers, and then you can use those retainers to then pay really great staff, and you can be the boss and, hold all the plates, I guess, and move everyone around and run a really successful campaign. So for me, I guess my why is that I've got two great kids, two awesome little kids. I'm a surfer, a mountain biker, an adventure junkie. So I'm not really someone that, sort of gets caught up in all the pretty things, I guess you could say. I did actually go to TAFE. So I went to Hornsby TAFE and I learnt how to be a graphic designer there, and I did the foundations course, and then I did the diploma course, and then I finished with the advanced diploma. And back then they were all still doing publishing, and there was a small little web track there, and I did that. And I'm really into languages. I speak some Italian and lots of other really bad German and French and Spanish. But I think the web design track really was attractive to me because it was like learning another language, and I love linguistics. So I got straight into web, finished that. I helped everyone else in the class, and then I just went out and got a job because let's do it, right? So I'm a bit of a doer. I'll just jump in and do it, which is why I ran a web agency with no web experience. So that's my why. So in 2009, I finished TAFE, and then in 2010, I went and got a job. Or the end of 2009, I got my first job in web design in a small little business success sort of company, and then I went and got a full-blown developer job in the city, and I got retrenched in 2011. 9 months after having the role, because they were getting divorced and all sorts of drama, and I just was the first person in, so I was the last person in first. Anyway, so I got moved on. But at that point in my life, I was feel like I was young. But at 3 o'clock they retrenched me, and that was it. Like, I had to go home, and that was in the city. And at that point, there was no buses or trains that went back to my house. So I was like, oh my God, I've just been retrenched. And now I have to wait till 5 o'clock till the bus turns up, so then I can get home. So I called my dad and I was like, Dad, if I get a train to like Pennant Hills, like, I don't know trains, like we didn't grow up where trains were. I was like, Dad, if I get a train to Pennant Hills, can you pick me up? I just got fired. And so my dad came and picked me up Pennant Hills, and I was just like, I am never going to have no control ever again. So for the next 4 weeks, I, visualized what the hell I was going to do, and then I just went out there and got it. And my first job was some pole dancing clients, and so that was phenomenal. So we built an e-commerce website, and I don't know anything about e-com, so I subcontracted a guy called Phil, who I still keep really good contact with, and he helped me build the site. And we just charged accordingly, and the two of us got the thing together, and I did all the design and the PSDs and the Photoshop files. I feel like saying PSD is like, does anyone even use Photoshop anymore? So yeah, I was doing the PSDs, and then he was doing all the web dev, and then we put it together and we built a really good e-com site for him. And they stayed with us for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years or something, and then they moved on because gradually we weren't really an e-com business. which comes back to the niching piece. Like, we weren't really ideal for them, and that's why they moved on. So very quickly I went from being dumped to working in my bedroom, and I got a check from the Cancer Council for $900, and I was in my PJs, and I was like, oh, this is epic. I don't even have to get out of my room. I can do all the design work here and work for someone like the Cancer Council. And that was like really big, like just brain, I won't say the word I was going to say. But I remember playing Pilot. The song's called Magic by Pilot. And it's like, oh, it's magic. And I was like, oh, this is the best. I'm just getting paid in my PJs and I'm playing my song. And that became like my winning song. Like every single time I had an invoice come through and get paid, I put that song on. I was like, oh, yes, this is fantastic. I am in control of my life. I'm getting paid. I'm like putting the check out and it's getting paid and it's going in my account. Hello, $75,000. Now I need to pay GST. All right, so back to my timeline. So in 2011, it was just me, StephanieCampanella.com.au, which very quickly turned into SummitWebDesign.com.au. And in 2013, I was doing a lot of networking between 12 and 13 and picking up a lot of clients, and I found that I was just a web developer. Like I was just the web designer girl that you would come to and we would build you a great site and we'd get it developed and we'd get you live, and then I'd put you on some $60 retainer and then you'd be on my web dev books, so to speak. And then I was obviously going to pitches and putting these huge proposals together and spending all this time in the meeting and then doing the proposal and then like getting nowhere and sort of wondering, gosh, like what's going to make them say yes? Like what is it? And is niching, right? Like, drop the ball. I looked at all my customers and I saw that 35% of them were already trades. So I come from a background of trades. My dad's a builder, my brother's an electrician, my uncle's an air conditioner, like my other brother's a builder. Like, it just goes on and on and on, right? So I was naturally attracting my kind of clients. There was 35% of them in my entire book. So I was like, right, we're just going to be tradies get online. And again, I'm just someone that does something, says it, and then just does it. So there you go. I bought tradiesgo.com.au, and then we were now Tradies Get Online, and we were getting tradies online. So then, I guess to continue through my timeline, in 2015, I hired my first Philippines team member. Now, I went through a company called Flat Planet, who no longer exists anymore, but I got a web developer called Jared, and he cost me about $2,500. And I went, wow, that's not bad. Okay, that's better than paying $6,000, I guess, for a designer to sit in my office, blah, blah, blah. But then when you find out that these Filipinos are actually earning like $500, and then the other $2,000 is going to the Australian admin guys, you're like, right, I reckon I can do this myself. So I went on to hire more staff, and I wish I had my little hierarchy here. But I had, the first person I hired was Jared, my designer, and then I hired John, my developer, and then I hired Rose, my VA, and I just kept hiring Team Philippines. And like LG, life's good. I am doing presentations and I'm making sales, and I'm then in Slack and then flicking it to my team and building processes, and I've got this whole team behind me doing all this work. And I've got the free time to be able to go and hustle and do more networking and do more, do the footwork basically. So LG, life's great. And then I started building out Team Australia because I was the person that had to answer all the phone calls. I was the person that was, like the gentleman before me was like, he was just on the phone this morning, I think at 9 a.m. because Cloudflare went down and he had to take that call. No way. I'm not taking those calls. That's like boundaries for me. And so I pay my team to go and do that, and they get extra time and all sorts of stuff for that sort of thing. So I quickly worked out that we had to be a little bit more 9 to 5 than sometimes necessary. And also, I don't know jack about web development or maintenance or anything like that. So if something happened, well, you can't call me. I don't know what to do. But I guess the thing is that in 2023, that was it. I'm basically exited also out of sales and out of doing anything. I'm actually on a gap year this year, just taking care of my kids and building a house while the whole company runs. So I'm in a really great spot, which is why I want to share it with you, because I believe that you too could be in a really great spot. And I don't know what that spot looks like for you, but for me, it looks like more time, like getting home at 3 o'clock to pick up the kids and make dinner, or just being at home and making my husband breakfast in the morning, and then he goes off to work and then comes home at 3 and we can go to the park or we can go to the beach and just chill out. And for me, that's my spot, right? Like, or even like, hey, Ryan, why don't you just go bike riding today? And then he'll just go bike riding all day and we'll go bike riding together or something. I don't know. So I don't know what your spot looks like, but I do want you to consider what you would rather be doing than what you're about to do next week. Like I don't know what your Monday to Friday looks like. My Wednesday, I'm going to the city to go to a China expo to go look at e-com brands. Like, do you know what I mean? So whatever your life you want to look like, then let's imagine it. Like, let's put a vision board together. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to go all woo-woo there, but I believe that today, at the end of this session, or at the end of today, or maybe tomorrow, or you might be in the pool tonight, and you think, that's it, I'm going to niche into X, and that's going to be your month one. Yesterday, you went from no niche, you were relying on word of mouth, you were relying on someone calling you and like, oh, hey, John, can you come and, someone spoke, oh, yeah, I met you because of Cheryl. Oh, cool, yeah, I can do a deal. Yeah, like she said you're really affordable. I was like, oh, you say that, Cheryl. You know what I mean? Like you've probably had those conversations. So I don't want any of that. And the last piece there is like known for nothing, right? So I think we allow ourselves to just say yes and like, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. When actually, no. The answer is no, because I want you to pick your customer, I want you to pick your product, and I want you to market that product to that customer and say no to everything else. That's what I would love for you to do, because that's what I did, and it's the best. So if you do that and you follow my guidelines, that's where you'll be at 1 month. At month 3, you should be fully niched. Your existing website could be completely different to what it is now. And like, not just a landing page on dentist, but like a full-blown website on dentist. Yeah. And I say that because we get those calls in the office like, but are you like really trade specific? It's like the whole website is about trade. There's nothing about psychologists or dentists or anything. Like, it's very obvious that that's all we do. In fact, like, we're like super niched. We mostly deal with electricians. So like when an electrician comes to us and they are an ideal customer, like it's a no-brainer, and we will put whatever fee we want in front of them and they will just buy. Like, there's no one else. Yes. So that's what I want for you. I also want you to duplicate yourself. So I spoke about, I hired Jared, then I hired John, then I hired Rose. But what I would like you to consider is hiring yourself. So probably the biggest mistake, and obviously time mistakes, my mistake was that I hired designer first, but I was still doing my emails and I was still doing the project manager inside Teamwork or Asana or whatever it was back then. I would recommend you to hire an EA or a VA, someone from the Philippines. And I say Philippines because I freaking love them. They're amazing. Their work, they're amazing. So I would suggest that you hire out yourself. I would be building a Trello board of all the things that you do every day, every single project. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? You're emailing a customer, that's customer service. You're looking at an invoice, that's accounts. Like, everything that you do, I want you to put it into a Trello board and start categorizing it into columns. Was that social media work? Was that accounting work? Was that project management work? Was that development work? And I want you to build all the roles out, because you're going to need all these as you expand. Yeah. You with me? Okay, so I really recommend that you get an EAVA first, because that's going to free up your time even more. Yes, because all those little admin tasks are going to add up. And once you have someone categorizing your email inbox and putting in little filters and like attention and read this and what's next and all this kind of really cool stuff that I never even thought, I mean, I didn't do it, my VA did it. But all this stuff that you never thought that you needed, they can come in there and do it for you. And trust me, they're amazing. You just got to find the right one for you and interview them, and that's a whole other talk. Anyway, and yeah, maybe in year one you could be buying homes and all sorts of stuff. So I won't talk about that either. Okay, so I won an award at a business conference, WcBne Awards. This is like 2012, and I met a whole bunch of hairdressers. And I was a solo operator, so it was just me at the table, and then it was their whole team, right? And I had a great night, and then they ended up becoming clients because there was like a relationship built. But I just said yes, because I was like, oh yeah, where's my next job coming from? I don't know. And it was a hairdresser, and I was like, right, yeah. So we built a whole new website and all this stuff, and great. But it's like I had to start all over again. I had to get to know the market all over again. And this is the biggest thing. Like when I actually niched and decided that I was going to work with trades, then my whole world changed. Like I always say that, like Triple M called, right? Like Triple M, like a tradie radio station in New South Wales, right? And they called me because I was like a tradie marketing agency. And like 10 years ago, you could Google like tradie marketing agency. I mean, yeah, we still got them. But they found me and called me. They're like, oh, hey, like you're really into trades and we're looking for like, you know, people to advertise on our network, and you would obviously be a good match because you're into trades too. And so it's just little things like that that's just started happening that made me realize, oh my gosh, I think I'm going in the right direction here. Like I think I'm in flow, and the energy it's all coming to me like really fantastic. So I think that's like, if you start to see things coming at you in a really positive way, just remember that I think you're on the right track. Yeah. So obviously that stuff never would have happened if I was still just Joe Blogs web design. You know, it was because I niched. It was because I drew a line in the sand and was like, right, this is all I'm going to do now. This is the person I'm going to be, and this is who we're going to be, and we're moving forward. And I started marketing. So I got invited to I'm still getting invited to like the HIA, like the Housing Industry Australia, and the builders, master builders, and the NICA. Like we're in all these bodies, and like I'm a judge on the pool association and all sorts of stuff, and I'm in all these like associations because I'm like the longest standing female business owner in the trade space. Like there's heaps of people now doing it, like, which is great. Go niching. But yeah, I'm like on all these boards and stuff. But again, I wouldn't be that person and getting all those referrals, like thanks very much, if I didn't make a stand for something. So I want you to make a stand for something. So today we're going to be working for dentists. All right. So I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to show you some examples of how we can go into dental marketing. I had a really good mate, Nick, who was into dentistry, and like I was always like, oh wow, your business is so cool, you're into dentists. Anyway, so first things first is you've just picked your niche. I don't know what you're going to pick, but I'm going to make an example here of dentists. And the thing I want to highlight, like tradies, is that it's not just tradies. It's like plumbers, is it builders, is it pool people, is it electrical, is it this, is it that, is this. So dentists or clinicians is the same thing. So you've got your cosmetic guys, you know, the cosmetic, they're doing like all the teeth, like how big is teeth and changing your face now? Like that wasn't like that 10 years ago. But there's just cosmetic dentists that just do teeth. So are you like the best marketer for teeth whitening? And you can guarantee, because of the repetitive systems that you've built inside your agency, you can get teeth on repeat. Yeah, like is that going to be you? Are you going to be someone that's looking for more the GP space? Like, you know, is it like a general practitioner and they're doing like even more full-on stuff and all on fours and all this sort of dental stuff? So I really want you to think about, okay, cool. So Stephanie told me in a niche, and I picked, you know, painters, for example. And then what did I do? It's like, are you an interior painter or are you an external painter? And I say this because the customers, they hate when you say like, oh yeah, we deal with dental and like we deal with a lot of people doing like teeth whitening. And when that dentist doesn't do teeth whitening because they don't believe in it, because they think it's rubbish, they just forget about you. They're like, oh, that person doesn't know anything. Like, so it's really important that you call out exactly what it is. Like kids dentistry, I didn't put kids in there, but it's like pediatrics, like kids dentistry. That's huge. And if you can have a bold statement on your homepage that says, we help you nurture more children's mouths so that they don't have to have, what do you say, braces? Then that dentist is going to be like, oh my God, like that's like my why too. And they'll get really aligned with you, and then they'll just buy from you, and they'll just pay whatever you tell them to pay because you're like the only person that's promising that. So I really hope that you go not just niche, but you go all in on like one thing, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. If I go all in on one thing, I'm going to be broke, right? No. I did this old, you know, how do you get to $1 million? I'm sure you've stared at it like 1,000 times, right? How do I get a 7-figure agency? Do I just get one client, or do I need 2 clients paying me this, or do I need 4 clients? If you think about it, 10 clients paying you almost $8,500. That's $1 million business. That's really profitable too. Like 10 clients, you're not going to need many web developers and designers and rah and maintenance to service 10 clients. That's brilliant. So the first like rebuttal I guess I get is like, yeah, but is there really that many dentists nearby that I can service? It's like, if you can't find 10 dentists that are going to pay you $8,000, like, come on. Because what's a client worth to a dentist? Like, it's worth more than 10 grand. It's worth tens of thousands of dollars. And they will return, the ROI on that will be exponential. And you can reverse engineer that and ask them all sorts of questions in the sales process. Like, oh yeah, so what if I gave you 5 this week for like $15? What would that be? Like, you know, you could do all that stuff. So yeah, please do it. Now, the other thing is, where do you rule, right? Like, are you national? Are you saying yes to like overseas customers? Yeah? Or are you just going to stay within your state? These are all the things that I want you to write down and put on your, you know, your business plan that someone tells you to write. It's like, what the hell goes in here? What's my niche? What's my like sub niche? Like, what's my absolute perfect person? What do they look like? Are they a husband and wife? Are they a partnership? Are they a whole group of dentists that are running a huge clinic? Are they a type of dentist that has like 3 or 4 different clinics and you're actually helping service 3 or 4 different clinics in just one state, or is it multi-state? Like, this is what's supposed to be on your business plan, yeah? I just feel like it's always so stiff. So where do you rule? It's like the business plan section I've got, I guess. So, like, make a decision. If you're not going to be a national servicing business, then don't say yes when that lead comes through. If you only want to service your pocket in the Shire and you want to be like the Shire is in southern Sydney and they're like super cool down there. Like, and it's a really tight network, and I believe it just got voted like the most friendliest network in all of Sydney. I don't know. I don't live there. But if you want to just be the Shire's best dental or best like physical health person, then just be in that section. Like, that's super niche too. The fact that you're only helping healthcare practitioners in the Shire. You think about the dentist and the podiatrist and the chiro. Like, if you're just the person for just those people, and you know about Clinico and all the other booking apps that are just for that health section, like that's really valuable. Again, so all these factors that I want you to think about can be all put into your little business plan here, okay? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to reel them in like a fish, okay? So if we don't know who we're niching, we don't know where they live, and we don't know what they do and how old they are, then how the hell are we going to put a bait piece together to get them into our business, yeah? Okay, so we need... Have you done the other steps first? You're probably going to do it tonight. So what we need is a bait piece. We need something that's going to be attractive for those people. We're going to get their eyeballs on that bait piece and they're going to download it. Now, this stuff is like super old school. It's like like PDFs and ebooks and documents. Like this is like the oldest trick in the book. That no BS marketing guy, like I've got some of his books from 20 years ago. All that stuff in all those books. That's why that Brunson guy bought them all. It all still makes sense. Like it's all still foundational stuff that we new marketers should be doing. So don't forget any of that old stuff. So I love an ebook, like, and we use ebooks to attract clients. And it's so funny, like our best client, like one of the I won't say it, so it's like an electrician somewhere. Anyway, so he downloaded an ebook about content, like a content planning thing. And you're thinking, who wants to get an ebook about content? And then we have a text automation, and then he texted back, and I was like, oh hey, yeah, I can totally meet with you about that. Like his pain was that his content on his 150 something page website was all crap. And so when he saw like my content planner doc, he was like, I think this person might have a plan for all my content that's crap that I know I need because I want to dominate all these suburbs. So it's really interesting how something that you do can be put into a document for a checklist or a story or a how-to or a 6 ways to do this. It's really important to think and put these in place because that's going to attract your next customer. How many of you guys are actually doing this stuff? Hands up, sign of hands. Yeah. So not even like half of the room, right? This is all we do. We just put bait pieces together and we test them, and sometimes we just put the same bait piece out, but we change the cover and change the headline. Like seriously, yeah, because maybe the content inside it was really good, but maybe they didn't get the headline. Okay, so I've gone and created some bait pieces for you if you're going to do dentistry work, right? So, booked out blueprint, a free PDF showing 3 steps to fill your books with high value patients, yeah? And I'm using all the do you want more high value patients? I'm using all these marketing little name things to hook the person. Emergency crown ads kit, oh my God, a dentist loves an emergency client. Like they're in pain. It's 9 o'clock on New Year's Eve and the customer is just dying of pain. And the dentist is like, turn the ads on, Stephanie, let's go. And away we go, yeah? So that's a great, it's Australia Day and someone, needs pain, it's absolutely insane what they'll pay. So how your website is repelling clients. Oh, clients love to hear that their website's crap, hey? Oh my God, can you please tell me all the things? And we all know they get thousands of calls every day, right? I'm guilty. I have a Filipino that makes 80 calls Monday to Friday every day and calls my marketing list, yeah? Hand on heart. But we teach them not to say really bad things. So that's a whole other thing as well. So clients, I'm sure you've got a sales strategy where you just call people, you're like, hey, I've seen your website and there's a few things that I think we could do better there. Would you like to know them? And they're like, yes. Of course they're going to say it. Hey, your car's about to go, your car tire's flat. Don't you think you should fill it? And they go, oh no, I'm just going to keep driving. No, they're going to stop. They're going to stop and fill their tire and go, oh wow, you must be an expert in tire filling. Thanks, Will. So make it really obvious. That should be part of your sales process. Okay, so take a photo of this. This is absolute clarity, right? The biggest thing for me that I did was I just cleaned my desk. I was like, stop doing, and this is years ago, Magento and Shopify and Joomla and WordPress. Stop doing all the things, because once you start hiring, it's really difficult to find someone in a seat that's going to do really good Joomla, really good, I don't know if Joomla is a thing anymore, Magento, WordPress. It's really hard to build a team when you are spread so thin. So help your future self by minimizing and just doing one thing. So I want you to do one thing. And then I want you, I can teach you to break it into 2 sales strategies so that you've got a high value, just buy it now at $5,000 a month, or you can spend 9 and do this, whatever the price is going to be. But I really want you to get really clear this weekend on your product. What are you selling? And just start saying no to everything else. Because then you can market the thing. You can build a conversion tool like the ebook that I've done and start marketing to that person in a location that you know that you want to service to, okay? And then what I want you to do is start connecting with customers. Now, I wouldn't tell anyone to go networking anymore. Are you kidding? There's so many better ways you can grab clients. I see oh, you can join this for $2,000 a year. It's yeah, but I could spend $2,000 in Facebook ads and have thousands of customers ideal, and I could serve them for the rest of the year. There's so many more options now, right? But I want you at the basics to have one thing that you're going to sell, to name the thing, make it the most obscure thing ever. I called our product the Accelerate System, and I spelt it with an X so that I made the word up. I coined it so that no one else could use that word. And no one else did use that word for a very long time, except for one developer in Perth. I don't know if he's here today. But he started using the Accelerate System. And I'm bro, that's it's really obvious. Please stop. But I want you to be able to do that. And then, because you're really clear, I want you to be able to make weekly connects. So I want you to have a spreadsheet of 100 people that you're going to connect with every week. And I want you to call those people and DM them on LinkedIn and follow their Instagram account and like their content. So that before, do all that before you call them. Because when you do call them, they're going to be oh yeah, I think I know you. You've been following me on LinkedIn and Instagram and stuff. And I'm yes, I have been. This is not by chance. This is by a sales system that I'm going to be doing via Weekly Connect. Okay, so not a lot of time, but I was going to hopefully walk through all the niches, right? And I was going to give you some examples. So there's some examples of some really cool niches. And the exercise here is write down all the niches or write down all the customers that you've been servicing. Okay, and then think, what did I like about that person? Is it a big no, I would never work with that person again, or is it a hell yes? Because it's got to be a hell yes, because you're going to be doing this for the next 10 years, okay? So make it a hell yes. And then who are your top three, of those people that in e-com, let's say, you loved doing apparel, and that all the apparel people were your top three. It's okay, all of a sudden I'm going to be an apparel e-com person. And then look at your product. What do I love doing the most? What can I deliver and support on repeat? Is there already a repeatable process in place? And did I love doing it? And was it profitable for me? Okay, how can I start repeating that? Okay. And then, of course, come with your top three and then review and then away you go. So you can do this stuff yourself by literally that and that, okay? How much time have I got? 5. Oh, okay, brilliant. Okay, so I just threw this one in at last minute this morning because this is our sales process. And I'll teach you 2 things. So we've got a 9-step sales process. And so in my office, I have a 25-minute, I can make a sale in 25 minutes following a script with the person calling us. So that's the record, sorry, I should say. And so all my sales team beneath me, that's their goal, to get a sale on the day in less than 25 minutes by following a process. Now, I haven't given you the entire sales script and all the questions that we ask, but I have given you the canvas and how I train. I literally was training one of my team members a week or 2 weeks ago. And this is where we started, because before you start doing the sales process and following all the steps, you have to at least understand why I put the sales process together, okay? So first thing is rapport. Now, everyone gets really caught up on rapport. They talk way too long in rapport. Oh, yeah, our kids went to the same school, da-da-da-da. Oh, my God, I drive a Land Cruiser too, da-da-da, whatever. And it's stop getting in rapport. You are looking for a friend client. And we all know friend clients are the ones that nag us at 8 o'clock on Christmas morning. Yeah? You don't want another friend client ever again. I know, I've been there, right? So less rapport, more process. So as we walk through rapport, then let's jump into agenda. What are we actually going to do on this call? I like to tell my staff that we are physicians. We are like a GP. You call and make a booking for your doctor, and then you turn up at the doctor's surgery, and there's a text message to make sure that you're going to turn up in, half an hour and 50 minutes or whatever it is. And then you sit down in the chair, and then when your name is called, you come up and you speak to the GP. And that's how our process is. Because we want to be treated like people that have been to medical school for 10 years, yeah? Like we're specialists. The gentleman before was saying something like there was a flow between web design, like, you know, taking a long time and being really expensive. Then there was a time when web design was really low and it was cheap, and then now it's expensive again. It's like, no, I just want to be the most expensive person in my sector. Because why not? There's Louis Vuitton and there's Kmart. Do you know what I mean? You can either be Kmart or you can be Louis Vuitton. You can either be a Honda Civic or you can be Murcielago. I want to be the Murcielago. And I think you could be the Murcielago too, because what the hell are we doing? Why did I become a solo operator? If I wanted to work 9 to 5 and pay someone else's bills, well, then I would go back and earn a job and have secured income and earn 100K and like all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's fantastic. I'll put my holiday slip in. Like, no way. If I'm going on holidays, I'm just going to go on holidays. I'm not going to ask for permission. So yes, we put an agenda in place. The last thing we're going to do is the 6 conversion triggers. So we'll walk through all these processes and all the bits and pieces, and we'll get the customer to talk to us and talk to us and talk to us and tell us all their problems. Like, oh my God, my arm is sore, it's red, there's a rash, I don't know what to do with it, it happened 2 weeks ago, you know what I mean? Like, they're telling you all the things and you're like, excellent, I have an ointment for that. So this is the 6 conversion triggers, right? You need to work out the 6 best things or the benefit statements of your core product. What are the things that will just solve that person's problem? Now remember, this is really easy because now you know who the person is, you know where their business is, you know why they're in business, you know why they're not in business, you know all the things about them. So it's very easy to put benefit statements together, okay? At the end of the call, you then literally just unwrap and show them the 3 benefit statements which are going to achieve their outcome. You know what their outcome wants to be because you asked them earlier in the sales process, and then you literally say, how would you like to pay? Pro or profit or whatever your thing is, yeah? And then you take the card on the call and then you book them in for the onboarding call and then away you go. Slack gets a notification and everyone celebrates that you just got a new, yeah? That's it. Do we have time for questions?
Yeah,
No.
I've got 5.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Any questions? Yes, go.
So if you're going local
Yes.
and you're talking to people in your suburb,
Yes.
you're talking
They
because
do.
they're competitors, they're probably associates.
Yep.
So you're going to go to one, you sign them. You
Yep.
go to the next person. Why are they going to buy?
That's a really good question, okay? So your objection to that sales question in that sales process is, well, I would rather be with the best person that's servicing the niche than someone else is trying to have a crack at it. I would rather go and listen to Metallica play music than a Metallica cover band.
Well, but then aren't you like you?
Yep.
Without going to bed.
Yep.
But really,
Yep.
is that what you're saying?
I'm saying I would rather be with the best person servicing the niche than with someone that's seen it and has having a crack and is also doing this and is also doing that. Now there's definitely some piece, and we do this. This is why we're national. We can't take any more clients on in Brisbane. We're full in Brisbane because I don't want to service more than a couple of clients in every tiny little suburb. Yes, so that might be where you're coming from, but there is an angle there. Are you going to come and watch Metallica, or are you going to come and watch Metallica? Yep. Yeah, that's exactly it, yeah. So then every single sale that you make, your figure goes up. The price goes up because it's scarcity, because I'm only available to so many people. And so, again, one client, for $85,000 a year is going to get you $1 million.
So are you saying your service is suburb?
Yes.
Service another.
Well, I mean, look, it's up to you. In every niche, it's going to depend on so many things, right? And you could argue that 2 dentists on the on the same road. Okay, so we have a dentist. Like we have 2 dentists in our niche from like 10 years ago, right? And we're not going to fire them because they're really good, but they're on the same road in the same suburb. But they're freaking booked. They're booked flat. They know about each other and they don't care because they're getting what they want. They are fully booked.
So
and why would they? Yeah. Why would they? Even though we're now not even like we're not even dentist people. Like we're tradie people, but they're going to stay. Yeah. So it's about deliverability and what your promise is and all this. That's all going to matter if you can service 4 clients all in a row on the same road. Yeah. So it depends on your product. But yes, it's a great objection. Think about it. Are you going to be like with Metallica, like freaking like, you know, Metallica? Or is it the Metallica cover band? Where are they going to go? Up front. I think you did it earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So how do you work out what?
Yeah. So you could look like Google Trends, like, you know, you could look at Google Trends and all that kind of stuff. And then you could literally go into ChatGPT and go, hey, of all the niches, I'm picking these. What's the data on, so I looked at landscapers for a niche and I went in and looked at all the data and everything and it was like, it was good and then it was crap. And I was like, well, that's not a good niche to go into. Yeah, so there's just ChatGPT it. It's literally my thought. Yeah, get the data on how many people are coming through the system and how many people are spending that money and what's the e-com on that piece. Yeah, quick data and then go. But again, like I'm not good at math, but like one person at 90 grand is 90 grand. You know, like it's $1 million business. Yeah, and so if you need 10 times, yeah, you don't need that many.